Okay. So this Contract Labor Act, what it tells, whenever you are hiring some people for a contract work, so this act is getting automatically implemented. Means what? What type of provision you should take like that. Okay. The Contract Labor Act was passed to regulate the employment of contract labor, to make it the to regulate the employment of contract labor in certain establishment. It also provides for improving the service conditions of contract labor. So also it is also providing some facility for the contract labor, such as what type of extra benefits, such as the PPs, how they should get, whether they are going to get bonus, whether how many leaves they should get. Okay, so all those things are calculated. The act is importance to the construction industry, where the works are executed through contractors by the contract labor. Okay, generally in construction industry the contract labors are present, so this act is applicable mainly for construction. The act applies to every establishment. The act is going to every establishment contracting people. If they are more than 20 numbers, automatically this act will come into picture. If any establishment or any small organization, if it is more than this 20 people, this will come into picture. Okay, so but some exception is there. The act does not apply to the establishment in which only work of intermittent or casual nature is there, only small cleaning work, only small plastering work, painting work. So that time this act cannot be implemented. That is the meaning. Main provisions. What are the main provisions? Registration of establishment. See, every employer of establishment to which this act is applied is required to make an application to the officer on the form for registration. Means what? Any new work or any new company is coming and that is hiring some labor for contracting, so that company has to go for this officer and take a form, give a application and get registered. That is the meaning. So that is why you want to registration of establishment. Licensing of contractor means whether he is genuine, whether he is able to do the work, whether he is able to perform the work. So that licensing he has to get. Every contractor executing any work through the contract labor is required to obtain license. That is the obtaining the labor license contract. Okay. Welfare and health of control labor, contract labor. So very important. Okay, very important clause of this act. What it tells, under this act, the following facilities are required to be provided for welfare and health. To the whom? To the contract labor. So all these facilities to be provided. For works likely to continue for more than 3 months and where labor is required to halt at night in connection with the working, the contractor should provide the restroom, separate rooms for the women. Means what? The work is going to take place for more than 3 months. So he should give some restrooms for the contract labor also. Okay, so construction of labor camp should be there. For works likely to continue for more than 6 months and labors are more than 100, so canteen should also be provided. If more than 6 months is also there, then the, the canteen provision should also be provided. Toilets, latrines, urinals must be maintained clean and sanitary. So these are the conditions for welfare and health. Okay, first is restroom, second is canteen, and third is latrine and urinals. Payment of wages. Responsibility for the payment of wages rests upon the contractor. As soon as the every weekly payment or 10 days payment or monthly payment, that condition is there, he should give the payment to the respective contract laborers. Okay, you can see one example. Okay, what is this related to labor productivity? Related to labor productivity. Can you read this statement? Okay, how much labor yield is there in a construction industry? In a construction industry, okay, of an offshore oil drilling platform. In an offshore oil drilling platform, the potential labor hours were found to be, this is L equal to, this is L equal to, okay, this is L equal to 7.5 million, 7.5 million hours. It is a 7.5, okay, 7.5 million. Total labor hours are this much, okay, that is the meaning. Of this total, the non-productive activity is expressed in 1000 labor hours, expressed in 1000 labor hours, okay. So these are the total and these are the some non-productive hours. What are those non-productive hours? So for holiday it is written as A equal to 417, okay, 417,000, 417,000, that is the meaning. So in terms of thousand, what they have given in terms of thousand, okay, that means 417 into again thousand, okay, that is the meaning. So that much for holidays strikes, okay. So here B is what, 1415 for absentees, that is vacation sick time, okay, 1415. What is this C? 1141 for temporary stoppage, means what, some weather, waiting, union activities, some temporary stoppage. D category 1431 for indirect labor, building temporary facilities, cleaning up. So what is asking, what is asking, determine the productive labor yield after above factors are taken into consideration, after above consideration, okay. Total, see, clear cut, total labor hours are 7.5 million hours, okay. In that, four categories are non-productive. So if you minus this one, this will be the remaining productive. So remaining productive yield you want to find. Determine the productive labor yield after above factors are taken into consideration. Okay, how we are going to do? Let us see how they have calculated. They have calculated the percentage. They have calculated the percentage of each non-productive hours. Each productive non-productive hours. A, B, C, D. These are the what? Non-productive hours. What is L? Total hours of labor. Means what? See, 7.5 million he has written as 7,500,000. 7,500,000. If you put here 1000, whether it will become 7.5 million? Yes. Okay, million it will become. So 417 divided by 7,500, 6%. It will become what? 6%. Can you do check the calculator? Into 100 if you do 6%. Okay, this is 6%. This is 19%. What he has done? That non-productive hours divided by total hours. Non-productive hours divided by total hours. So each category, four categories are there. A, B, C, D. Four category non-productive hours in the numerator. In the denominator, that is fixed. So each, how much they have get? 6%, 15%, 19, 19. Okay. So now X is that factor, that is the percentage of total non-productive activities, percentage of total non-productive activities. So you need to just add 6, 15, 19, 19. So 6, 19, 15, 19. So all four categories add. So total 59% is the non-productive. 59% is the non-productive. So in 100, if you minus this 59, whatever answer will come, no, that is 41. 100 minus 59, that 41 is the productive. So this is productive, this is non-productive, 100% is the total. Simple, very simple. Okay, so 100 minus this non-productive total will give you productive total. So that is what we have written. Don't see all this now, okay, just try to understand. 100 minus all these things, that is 100 minus 59, so generally it is 41, so it is become 41%. As a result, only 41% of the total budgeted time was devoted directly to the work on the facility, Okay, what do you mean by this one? Every 100 hours, 59 hours are spent on non-productive. So morning you have arrived to site at 9 o'clock. So till evening 5 o'clock, how many hours are there? Okay, 9 hours are there. Okay, the 8 hours are there. 9 to 5 means 8 hours. In that 8 hours, 4 hours, almost 4 hours or more than 4 hours is gone for non-productive, going to canteen, talking with other, okay, like that. So remaining thing only is a productive hour. So question was that, question is determine the productive labor yield, determine the productive labor yield after above factor. Here above factors are these four factors are there. These are non-productive factors are taken into consideration. So after deducting all these things, so we have 41% is the productive. 41% is the productive.